In my recent project, I was looking for lenses that work both on film as well as digital cameras. I am using three big name systems. One of them is Nikon film and digital single lens reflex cameras, including the Nikon F80 from 2000 and D700 from 2008. I keep watching the local used market platforms for decent quality and price lenses, and I found by accident this Tamron 45mm f1.8 VC USD lens. I was surprised that a prime 45mm lens has image stabilization. This lens was made in 2015 and it is a member of a series of 35mm 1.8, 85mm f1.8 from 2016 and 90mm f2.8 macro from 2016, all VC USD lenses. Tamron made these lenses with Canon EF, Nikon F and Sony A mounts. The Sony versions were made without image stabilization, unfortunately. This 45mm I found from a very nice local photographer was with Nikon F mount, and I was a bit hesitant if this lens was made with electronic diaphragm, since E-lenses don't work with Nikon film cameras. So I brought my Nikon F80 to the meeting point to give a try to see if aperture can be set in A and M modes. When I had the lens in my hands, I loved its shape and heft tremendously. This lens was very similar to my Zeiss Batis lenses in style. I had the impression that maybe Tamron is making the Batis lenses for Zeiss too. Anyhow, when I mounted the lens on my F80, I changed immediately to aperture priority mode, and to my delight, the lens worked flawlessly on my film camera. I was able to set the aperture and the image stabilization worked excellently too. This was a major point to me. I have been looking for lenses with image stabilization that work on film cameras too. Not all Nikon cameras are equal. Only Nikon F100 from 1999, F80 from 2000 and F6 from 2004 work with modern G, VC, OS, USD and HSM lenses with full functionality. The first project with this lens was with my Nikon D700, however. I was invited to be a photographer for a child's happy birthday party celebration. I picked the D700 since immediate results were expected, and I brought one of my portable printers to the event. That printer was the fantastic Kodak M300 dye sublimation printer, which prints excellent 76 by 76mm square photographs. The children and their parents were very happy with the prints and the shiny physical paper photographs which they could have in their hands. As for the lens, I was so pleasantly surprised how silent, snappy and accurate was the autofocusing both in continuous and single AF operations. This lens is not small at all. It is about the same size as the Zeiss Batis 40mm f2 lens. The D700 is not small at all either, but with this lens they made a perfect unity. Another eye-opening experience was how great looking photos the D700 took. It is only 12 megapixels, but I was absolutely pleased with the results. To make the photographs even higher quality, helping the camera a bit more, I mounted the wireless transmitter of my lovely FlashQ Q20 on my D700, and I applied a reduced power 1/64 or 1/16 fill flash off camera. For portraits I used f1.8 aperture, for groups f4. I didn't want to take full swing action photographs, so I just captured relaxed images. During the 4-hour event, I took a couple of hundred photos in 3 stages, and I copied the NEF files onto my laptop via a USB cable directly from the camera, and I used my Lightroom 5 to process the photos. I just converted most of them to square format. The images were so great quality that I applied minimal exposure correction, no noise reduction at all, not even vibrancy or saturation boosts, and no white balance corrections. The entire workflow was fast and efficient. Then I uploaded my photos immediately to Google Photos. Then we picked the photos to be printed on my phone, and I printed the square images onto the battery-operated Kodak M300 portable photo printer. I love this Tamron 45mm lens so much that I decided to collect the other members of this image stabilized Tamron prime lens product line in the forthcoming months. In my next project, I'll use this lens on my lovely film camera, the Nikon F80. One thing you may have noticed, my dear watchers and visitors, I don't use the word shooting in the context of photography. I prefer using the classic term taking a photograph or photographing an event. I never shoot, not even with my cameras.